Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is the number 25 chew review. And as you just saw, it will be Days O' Work, which is a plug from the Pinkerton Tobacco Company of Owensboro, Kentucky. So let's take a look at the packaging. So it is a 2-ounce net weight plug. Everything else is fairly self-explanatory. The wrapping paper is a cellophane, but the paper, the chewable paper, as you would say, that is wrapping the plug itself is a light brown, khaki brown color. The other plugs I've done thus far were dark brown. Dark brown or near close to black. Although, you know what, now that I've mentioned that, I cannot quite remember offhand the cannonball. But you get what I'm saying. So everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Barcode. The fact that it is a Pinkerton Tobacco Company product of Owensboro, Kentucky. Underneath the Owensboro, there is a very light digit and letter and digit code. Not sure what it means, but it would be located basically underneath the seam on the back of the package. One cut over here, that is what Pinkerton writes instead of one plug. It is the designation of, I guess, the width that's being cut out of the longer plug. These come in elongated forms. Traditionally they were, I believe, 2 foot, but I'm not quite sure now. Anyway, one cut, which I don't know what the it's just a little bit shy of 2 inches. One cut or one plug would be a certain width out of the longer section. So now on the side, on the one side, you have the fact that it is 45% domestic tobacco and that sale is only allowed in the United States. On the other side is them covering their second warning label. Okay, so as I've explained on past plug reviews, I usually try to save this in a way that I can slide the plug in and out of the cellophane. For these reviews, I just take them out. It's too much of a bother, and I figured out a alternative way to store these, which I may actually show you in this review. So the product is in very good shape. Very good shape. Oh no, this is the test I do to see if it's pliable. It looks very moist. Now I have had this for a little while, but it was refrigerator kept. The only thing that is a little bit out of place is on the outside of the paper, some leaf made it to the outer part. Now, some people bite off this with the paper intact. For the sake of showing the product, I have been removing the paper, and it's pretty easy to do if the product is in good shape. If the product is not in good shape, not so easy. I am losing some leaf though with this. Okay, it's so moist that I am losing leaf. Okay, so let me try to get some light on here. That's what you have. Now, there's a lot of really dark on this, so I'm thinking this might be semi-sweetened. I have never had Days of Work before. So, you know what? I'm going to pull this excess off the side. It's very tacky to the touch, so I'm thinking this might be sweetened or semi-sweetened. Mm. Gonna have to hit the pause button on this. I'll be back in a moment. What the heck is going on there? And I'm back. Okay, so it is along the lines of the other plugs. It is sweetened. That is very evident, or more evident to me now that I have done the Havana Blossom. Thus, also the darker leaf, not too much blonde. Now, I'm guessing they're using molasses, but you know what? I don't think I've ever checked the smell of these. This is what I'm doing with these plugs. Although I go through them pretty quickly, I don't even know if I really need to, but since I'm basically removing all the packaging from it, I needed something to keep them in. So I'm keeping them in a pipe, ounce 0.75 pipe tobacco tin with, if I think I'm going to have them a little bit longer, I have a one of the hydration stones in there. The stone in this one I haven't soaked yet, but that's what I'm doing. The good thing about pipe tobacco tins is that, I don't know if you can see it here, that white in there is actually a gasket, so, and they're also stackable. The smell isn't as raisiny as, let's say, a loose leaf original chewing product, but also it's hard to tell unless I slit the packaging, the cellophane, and smelled it that way. It's not being held in a bag at any point, so you can't really, it's not enclosed. This is sweetened more so than, well, definitely more so than the Brown's Mule. More so, I believe, than the Apple Sun Cured, both of which those were Pinkerton products, but the Brown's Mule was only a 1.5 ounce. Not quite as sweet, I don't believe, as the Cannonball. Now, with these plugs, you have the sweetness, but then you also have a bitterness. The bitterness on this is definitely less than the Brown's Mule and the Apple again, and a little bit higher than the Cannonball. It's a little less sweet and a little higher on the bitterness side. The plugs are a little bit odd. I haven't, now that I've done, this is the fourth, I really hadn't had in my entirety of smokeless use done this many plugs before. I've done 4 in the last, since New Year's, I think, maybe. I don't have these labeled on the date. The flavor's good. I like it. God, I hate when I do that. Have I said that before? But it is a mix of sweet and bitter, okay? It's a very old form of chewing tobacco, the process that makes plug, the pressing. Pressing is also used in pipe tobacco, so I was sort of familiar with the idea. In fact, some pipe tobaccos come as plug, and originally I believe some plug chewing tobaccos could be smoked. Not this stuff, though. It has been drenched in what I'm guessing is a molasses mixture, at least, and that's why it is so dark to look at. Something else I failed to mention in past plug reviews. Afterwards, it is a little bit of a mess in the mouth. The reason being is, unlike the loose leaf, the plug tobacco has been cut finer. I'm not saying it's tough guy fine by any means, but it is smaller. Like, let's say that is a leaf in loose leaf. You're talking like that in this stuff. It probably aids them cutting it at finer lengths and sizes in forming the plug. So, all in all, this is pretty good. In fact, out of the three, now the Brown's Mule, the Apple Sun Cured, and this are all Pinkerton products. The Cannonball was American Snuff Company product. Favorite so far, I'm going to have to go with Cannonball. But out of the three Pinkerton products, I think I like this the best. It probably is the sweetest. The Apple, as I said during that review, there is a hint of apple there, but it's not like Stoker's Apple Chew. It's like a whisper in the background. So that one stands out as different. The Brown's Mule was just flat out bitter. I don't even see how they had the dark leaf in there that they had, because I couldn't tell that it had been sweetened. Maybe I'll have to revisit it at some point now that I've had the Havana Blossom, but... So, this stuff lasts quite a while in the mouth, but it is a mess when it comes out. So you want to keep that in mind. You do need to rinse pretty thoroughly. Sometimes you may even want to floss afterwards. So, now... I don't have the packaging, so I can't really show it again. But this has been the review of Days O' Work plug chewing tobacco from the Pinkerton Tobacco Company of Owensboro, Kentucky. It's going to have a chew level nicotine. It's going to be low. And that's what I'm saying. The flavor's pretty good. The sweetness is definitely there, but it is still bitter at the same time. Comes in good shape. Now, I wouldn't buy one around here, but I have noticed this product being sold in Walmarts before, at least in the Northeast. Usually, all Walmarts in a sales district or sales area will carry the exact same products. It's part of their auto shipping. So, if you want to try plug, you may want to just check your local Walmart. And if you're in a rural area, this stuff may be fresh. I would never buy this around here. It could be sitting there for, better part of a decade. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I want to say hello and thank you to Johnny Lavis and... Ginger Pony Pony Pony. Hello and thank you, guys. Or I don't know if Ginger is a guy or girl. I'm going to guess it's a guy, but I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy. The Days of Work plug. If you can find it, give it a try. It's all right. It's one of the better plugs I've had. All right, guys. Do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless.